Just got off work, yo. I only work like 2 days in the year, so gotta go out there and make my money. Reach my quota.
Well, welcome to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, guys. Today we're gonna have our final review of Heaven Upside Down by Marilyn Manson. Alright guys, well happy Friday the 13th. I'd like to start out by talking about this album first. And I thought this album was fantastic. It sounded really cool. It did not get stale for me throughout the entire week I had listening to it. And, you know, as usual with albums, there were songs that grew on me. And I'd like to start with the songs that I wasn't a huge fan of in the first impressions.
Okay,
Saturnalia is one song we talked about last week that we didn't really like too much. You know, we said it was too long. We said it got a little bit stale the longer it went on. I feel that after listening to the song for an entire week, it's great. And it shows one of the biggest themes I kept thinking about throughout a lot of the songs of this album, and it was groovy. So many of the songs in this album are just straight up groovy and totally prove you don't need insane technical proficiency to make great music.
Of course not.
And that song, it keeps going. You know, it has a long intro, but when the groove starts, it keeps going all the way to the end, and it feels great as it keeps going and going. It doesn't feel stale. I don't know, it just kept...
Yeah, I agree. I felt like, you know, the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. It definitely grew on me as well. The first time listening to it, I think because I was sitting there kind of like judging it, and I was looking at the time going, oh, well, the song's kind of still going. It's still going. When you're paying too much attention to the time, then it starts to feel like, you know, why isn't this song ending? But if you're just listening to it, like, and just enjoying it, straight up enjoying it, it's fine. You know, the 8-minute length is not that bad at all. It's not like the song has anything that's super repetitive in it or anything like that. It's a pretty well-made song.
Yeah, and another song to mention that I wasn't a huge fan of last week was the title track, Heaven Upside Down. I didn't think that this was a bad song in my first impression, but I felt that it stood out like a sore thumb because, you know, the acoustic guitar in there, you could hear a tambourine in there.
Yep.
Stuff that reminded me of Pale Emperor. Like, I'm thinking, why isn't this song in the Pale Emperor? Because it totally fits in with the rest of those songs. But, once again, this song is very groovy, like the rest of the tracks on this album. So I felt, you know, after listening to it over and over again, it really grew on me as part of this album. I can put on that song now and not feel that it's alienated from the rest of the tracks. I can put it on and be like, yes, this, you know, fits in with the identity of Heaven Upside Down. So it really worked out there for me, listening to it over and over. And the tracks that were good were still, you know, holding strong. Those didn't get stale either. You know, the first track, Revelation 12.
That's such a good song.
That Tattooed Reverse.
Yeah.
Tattooed in Reverse.
Both those songs are amazing. I couldn't stop listening to those two songs. And Blood Honey was
Blood
another
Honey
one.
was a great song. I love that one so much. I love how sad it is. I love the emotion in Manson's voice in this
There's
song.
so much emotion in this whole album.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this guy, like, I'm picturing him in the studio, like, singing these songs. Like, he belts this shit out. He really puts all of his energy, all of his effort into this, like, his vocal performance. And I think he's a really highly underrated singer. He's got a very odd style. You know, he doesn't sound like friggin' like a super singer or anything like that. He's hitting these super high notes or anything. He's got kind of a raunchy sounding voice, but it's good. It's like, it's unique and it's artistic.
You could really feel the emotion through his voice and how he sings.
And that's not just on this album. That's throughout all of his discography. He's like that. And that's one of the reasons I love him so much, because he puts his heart and soul into the voice. You know, a lot of singers just kind of sing. He emotes. He emotes while he's singing. You can tell, you know, when you listen to songs like Blood Honey or Tattooed in Reverse, and you hear the different fluctuations in his voice and the little whines here and there, and the little, not growls, but grumbly type of things.
It's a really kind of scratchy feeling.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad feeling. It's a good kind of scratch.
Yeah.
That you hear from his voice. And like you said, that's all over his discography. So that's just a great thing about him as an artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to give this to you. I want to know what you thought of this album after listening to it for 1 week.
Same, man. I think this album's great. It definitely a few songs grew on me like they did you. Say 10 was one of the ones.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm definitely a big fan of Say 10 now. I wasn't really huge into it in the First Impressions video, but man, what a great song. They dropped the video last week. We did a reaction.
Check it out.
You mentioned to me earlier that they did a video for Kill For Me as well.
I read that there was a video for Kill For Me recorded at the same time as Say 10. It's not out yet, of course, but that's what I heard.
So I'd predicted, like I thought to myself that, you know, they did a video for We Know Where You Fucking Live. They did a video for Say 10. I'm like, they're probably going to do a video for Kill For Me. The reason I thought that, and this is kind of a dumb association to make, but if you look at all the track listings, those 3 songs are all in caps, and they're all right next to each other. I also think that those 3 songs are related somehow. And I might just be grasping at straws here, but I think they're related in a political way. I think those 3 songs might be about Trump, or at least the political climate that it is. Because We Know Where You Fucking Live is almost like, I actually read this somewhere where somebody said, could he be talking about Donald Trump? Like, we know where you live, you're in the White House, we're gonna come kill you. There's a lot of people that want to kill Donald Trump. You know, that whole thing. Say 10, he could be singing to like Trump fans.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to politicize this, but he could be saying like, you say God, I say Satan. Like, you love him, I hate him. You think he's the best, I think he's the worst. That kind of thing. And Kill For Me, I think he might be singing to like anti-Trumpers, people that hate Trump, saying like, you know, will you do it? Will you go and take the shot and just get rid of this guy for me?
Perhaps.
You know? So maybe I'm grasping at straws here, but those are 3, especially because the Say 10 teaser last year had the Donald Trump reference in it. Yeah. So I started thinking for the whole year, hyping this album up, I'm thinking it's going to be politically driven, right? And now these 3 songs come out. He's got 2 videos, maybe 3. All those songs are kind of connected. They all got the capital letters. You can kind of attribute them all to Trump and the whole political atmosphere. Maybe I'm wrong. It's just a theory. I don't know, but I was kind of drawing those kind of comparisons there. Could be wrong. But other than that, man, this is Manson at his best, dude. Like, seriously. Yeah. He's I don't even know how old he is. He's 50 something.
He's like in his 40s or 50s.
I'm pretty sure he's past the 50 line now.
Around that area.
Yeah, maybe he's in late 40s. I don't know. But anyways, he still sounds great. He puts all his effort into his music. When you see Manson live, it's a 50-50 chance you're going to get a great show or a shit show.
Yeah.
In the studio, though, he does not slack off. He does not give us or anybody half-assed work. It's top-notch work every time. The band sounds phenomenal. They're so simple, but the riffs in this album are so great. They're like Black Sabbath style riffs. They don't sound like Black Sabbath, but in the way that the riff is so simple,
yeah,
but still sounds so amazing. Bass lines, you mentioned groovy. I'll mention groovy because this album is groovy. The bass lines hit hard on this. I mean, what else do you say about it, man? It's a great album. I know a lot of people love Blood Honey. Blood Honey is a great song. We talked about that already. The last song,
Threats of Romance.
That's a great friggin' song.
I love how it ends. I love how I don't know exactly what the beginning lyric of that song is, but it says it's like something about how it ends. I thought that was really clever because this is the last song, how the album ends.
Yeah. So stuff like little things like that, they pepper in there.
Yeah, I found there was a lot of little things in this album that really stood out to me. Like even the smallest stuff, like, oh, this sound effect here or this one small lyric. Like there was a lot of really like small things that were really standing out. And that's just all about Manson. He always puts so much effort into his work that all these tiny things are always going to stand out to you that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you rate it?
Well, all things considered, I think that it's pretty fair to give this album a toe tag because I don't really see anything bad about it. Like, I listened to this album a lot this week. Listened to it at work, to and from work, after work, you know, while I'm doing my hobbies, my chores, whatever, right? And I didn't get bored of it. You know, it's withstood the test of time. It withstood the fatigue test. And that was one thing I was a little worried about because, you know, for me, listening to Marilyn Manson, I got to be really in the mood to listen to Manson. So I thought maybe, you know, there was a couple times throughout the week my mood changed a little bit, so I might have put on a couple songs from another band here and there, but it's not that I was like, fuck the Manson again, I'm bored of it. No, it wasn't that at all. I was always looking forward to listening to it. I'm still looking forward to listening to it. I'm still hype on it. I mean, it still bangs. I still turn it up loud. Like, it's just a solid album. It's solidly produced. It's solidly recorded. I don't know what else to say about it. It gets a toe tag. Simple as that.
Well, I feel the same way you do. You took a lot of the words out of my mouth right there. This is a very solid album. Really hard driving. Oh, I love the force that this album gives. I love how it's still fresh for Manson. You can listen to this and say, oh, it's identifiable as Marilyn Manson, but it's also not stale. You can't say, oh, he's doing that shit
again. He did try a couple new experimental things, too.
Exactly, and that's always great for artists to do that.
It still feels like it's in his vein, though.
Exactly.
You know, he didn't branch out. He still stayed in his vein, but tried a couple new things, which is great. That's what artists do.
Definitely fresh album. This album gets my toe tag, meaning it's another album that is on our list of
two toe tags.
Two toe tags.
Yeah.
Anyway, that sick album,
wrap it
guys.
up, though.
Definitely check it out. Manson fans, I feel like Manson fans may be up or down about this album.
I've not heard anything bad. Everybody seems to love it. Everybody that I see in the comments section, all this stuff. Actually, there was one guy that said he listened to it and didn't like it, but yeah, whatever.
Anyway, that's it here. Two toe tag album. Once again, guys, definitely check it out. Manson fans, you'll probably love it, or not. It'll grow on you.
It's worth a listen.
Definitely, absolutely.
But be sure to leave your thoughts below. Let us know what you guys think after listening to the album for the whole week. And stay tuned because we got lots more stuff coming. But be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.